Welcome back. Now, back in 2019, one of the most iconic cathedrals in the entire world caught fire. It was a miracle that Notre-Dame in Paris survived the blaze. Now, director Jean-Jacques Annaud was inspired to create a film about the fire, but not only because of the cinematographic merits, but also the spectacle of the blaze itself. And, of course, Annaud speaks to us now about this film, Notre-Dame on Fire. Jean-Jacques, thank you so much for your time and good morning to you.
Thank you. Good morning. What a pleasure to start my morning with you.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thank you so much for coming into studio as well. But this film, I mean, there was a moment in history that shocked the world, and also shocking is that Notre-Dame survived the fire. Why was it important and significant for you to document that piece of history?
Well, you know, everybody has seen this cathedral on fire. Nobody really knew what happened, why it happened, and how the firemen managed to rescue this cathedral among Paris chaos. Because, you know, it's an old city, Paris. Streets are narrow. The French are not very disciplined. And it's a miracle that it stood up. But what I loved in the project, it's a movie that reads like a thriller. There is a lot of suspense in this movie, although we know basically that the end is a positive end. But how did they manage to get there and to win is what keeps the audience very much on attention.
Yeah. Did you manage to answer that question, how they managed that perhaps we haven't read about in the media?
Well, you know, this is part of the answer. I had a lot of time to do my own research.
Yeah.
And because I'm a filmmaker, I am not feared as if I was a judge or a policeman.
Right.
Therefore, a lot of things that I should not know went to me. And I show that in the movie. There are many possibilities. Possibly the simplest one is the culprit.
Right. Also, I mean, the culprit. What did you find about him that was particularly interesting? Yes, there's an ending that's more on a positive note, but in terms of the perpetrator and the culprit behind this, what did you find that we'll explore in the film?
Well, you know, I don't want to reveal too much what you're going to see in the movie, but frankly, the police force has been working on it for the last 3 years, and there are credible options, but nothing is certain, and it probably will never.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for those who go to watch the film, Jean-Jacques, what are you hoping the viewer, you know, the audience gets to explore? What are you hoping the experience and takeaway is from the film?
Should I say, like in any movie, being captivated by an hour and a half of strong show?
Yeah.
You know, what pleases me is to see that people were not expecting this kind of movie. There is a lot of emotion in the movie. And as I was saying before, a lot of real film tension. So I feel it's a show where you learn things and where you forget your day for a moment in front of the screen.
Yeah.
And of course it has been devised for wide screens. I managed to make a lot of reconstitution because, you know, I had to put the cathedral on fire again.
Yes.
And you can imagine that I didn't get permission.
Yeah, yeah, you didn't.
So well, listen, I rebuilt it.
Right, right. And also the reason I ask what you would like to be the ideal expectation or reception from the audience rather is because you put a lot of effort in this film. So take us through what you had to go through, the prep work, how long it took to actually conclude on the film, working with your cast?
Well, listen, I had to get permission from all the departments, you know, fire departments, Ministry of Interior, even the President of the Republic had to give me permission for certain things. And I've been let very, very free. You know, in France, people know me, and I've done many movies so far. So people expected a movie that will explain to them what happened, but also a movie that will be entertaining. And there is a mix, because, you know, like in any drama, you have a combination of tragedy and comedy.
Right.
And there are some moments which are hilarious in the middle of this huge drama. Because, you know, the reality is not only the cathedral was menacing to be entirely destroyed, but the whole district, because all the district is made of wood. You know, people believe the cathedral is stone, but the stones are... inside the stone you have wood,
right.
and wood has been planted in during Charlemagne's time, saying more than 1,000 years ago. You know, so the danger was that Paris would be ablaze. So this is why there is a lot of tension. You know,
right.
And in terms of structure, you know, my star is this beautiful lady. It's Notre-Dame, you know, most beautiful monument in France and one of the most visited monuments in the world. And it's in danger. And the enemy is the most charismatic, extraordinary enemy, fire.
Right.
You know, fire is beautiful. It's photogenic. It's why it's even dangerous for firemen. They're like mosquitoes. They like the fire and they can be burned.
Right.
We also love the fire because it's beautiful to look at, but it's extremely dangerous.
Absolutely.
So in terms of dramatic construction, it's very interesting to have a beautiful monument attacked by a naughty, splendid, beautiful enemy, a villain.
Yeah.
You know. And the good doctors who are, you know, the firemen, they have no access. Because it's Paris. Paris at 6 o'clock. Well, you know, here in South Africa, you have very often big traffic jam.
Right.
Well, just think there is a drama and the firemen are caught in that. So the heart is pumping.
Yeah, this is a journey of emotions that you're taking, you know, the audience through. And I'm excited to catch a glimpse of the film as well. But I just wonder, were you ever met with any resistance while film Notre-Dame?
No.
None?
No. On the contrary, I think people were happy to speak to someone. I insist the fact that I am well known, you know. Therefore, people have seen a number of my movies. I have a reputation not to cheat. And therefore, they came to me with their anecdotes. They would say, come. My first day, when I visited Notre-Dame after the drama, one guy said, you know, I'm in the construction.
Right.
I can tell you that I asked my men, did you smoke? Of course we smoked, the boss. Tell it to the police, I don't want to be lying.
Yeah.
But those things came to me very easily. I didn't have to ask.
Got you.
People were happy to give me what they saw and what they didn't say to the police.
Oh, we appreciate you for sharing what you've seen, heard from those who were there with the rest of the world, and looking forward to, of course, also watching this film. Thank you so much, Jean-Jacques.
You know what I loved is the truth. The truth is the first firemen that came to rescue were two firewomen, and they were beautiful. And that's the reality. It looks like a Hollywood choice.
Wow.
Because, and they, you know, they're excellent women, but I was so surprised that it was the truth. And two of them, two other guys, never had the experience of fire. So and you have those youth, those young people, they are the one who rescued this medieval cathedral. And that also is a very beautiful parable.
Yeah.
Because what it says all things, all people require the strength and talent of young people.
I appreciate you sharing this piece of insight with us as well. Those stories need to be told, and I appreciate you, of course, coming on to the South African Morning. Jean-Jacques Annaud, director of Notre-Dame, joining us this morning. A film that you should not miss, especially if you'd like to get an insight of what events took place around, of course, the fire that shocked the world, the rest of the world, out in Paris. All right.